Welcome to the Loveland Report and Lone Ranger Show. I am Cleve Loveland, Central Florida's best real estate planner, alongside Bruce Woodburn, the Lone Ranger. Today, we're going to talk about a couple of things. I've got three big things I want to go into. Rate cuts. Are there going to be any now that Sleepy Joe's out? Woo! Number two, are we headed for a buyer's market? The inventory's been climbing, so we're going to talk about that, even though prices are rising. And then we're going to talk about WTF real estate planning.
Well, how about that?
What's the first thing you do? Not what you thought. You thought it was something else.
First thing you do.
So I'm here with Bruce Woodburn, the skinny version of Bruce Woodburn.
The Lone Ranger.
Looking good. What are you down, like 50 pounds, 60 pounds?
I'm down 56 pounds.
Nice. That duct tape diet, right?
Yep. I'll tell you what, I went to a place called Age Rejuvenation, and I am totally endorsing them. Listen, I haven't even stepped foot in a gym, and I'm down 56.2 pounds right now. Nice. So if you're interested, call me 407-250-9144.
And we'll get you a loan.
We'll get you a loan. We'll get you into a house, and we'll get you skinny again.
Yeah, get you skinny. All right. So I want to jump into rate cuts. So tell me where rates are, Bruce. Like, have they? I know they settled down a little bit.
Yeah, they've settled down a little bit. You're running in the mid to high sixes right now. With good credit.
Well, a month ago we were floating low sevens.
We were floating low sevens. That's right.
And the thing is like, even though the Fed is talking now, like you and I have a stake bet about a bet one cut
which
before
I'm
the election.
Going to win.
You're going to hold. Yeah, you probably will. It looks like it now. There was a chance, but inflation's still kind of running a little hot. They want it down to almost 2%.
Yes,
but that's not. But rates can get down lower without the Fed cutting rates.
Absolutely.
All we were down to 6.25 about a year ago.
It's the bond market. It's the bond market that affects mortgage rates. It's not prime rate. It's not the Fed rate. It is the bond market. Now, the Fed rate and prime rate can have an indirect effect on it because it affects the economy. But we want the bonds to yield more, which will lower interest rates because interest rates are tied to 10 and 30-year bonds, and that's how they're traded. So
looking at my report here, 18 months ago, we were January of 23, we were low sixes. So December of 22,
yep,
and that's when they started climbing. But then they ripple. I thought they dropped back down again.
And now they're running at what, 6.89.
Now they're back to like 6.7 average on that. Yeah. So this is for the report for last month. So anyway, I mean, with whatever's going on out there, I think the most important thing. We're going to talk about buyers markets and things and where are we at now? Are we in a seller's market? But I think the most important thing is they talk to you first.
Well, absolutely. But here's what I'm seeing. I'm still seeing a lot of people sitting on the sidelines. And I think a lot of people are just waiting for the election before they jump into the market. So I think a lot of people have put it in their mind that, hey, look if Trump gets in, we're going to see lower interest rates, and he's got a good chance that can happen. Not so sure now that Kamala is in there, and she's going strong.
They don't know what they're doing.
They don't know
Nobody
what they're
knows.
doing, but neither does the average American.
Exactly.
They don't know how to vote. They'll vote, based on color or gender, and they don't vote based on.
But on the rates, what I see happening now, I mean, I thought we would have bottomed out on inventory, and I think we haven't been through a slowdown like this. I remember after 9/11, there's a slight slowdown, and sales slowed, but by 20-30%. After 2008, sales plummeted to like 30% of what they were. There was like 700 sales a month in town. That's it. And it was just foreclosures, just investors picking up property. There was hardly anybody able to move because everybody was stuck in their home. Now there's no foreclosures, but people aren't in dire straits where they have to sell.
No.
They've got equity.
No, everybody's sitting on equity.
So, so this is kind of a weird slowdown where I thought inventory would have topped out, but it hasn't. But I think what it is there's been a lot of listings. Like the past 4 months, usually Central Florida, there's about 3,500 new listings every month. Past 4 months, we've been over 4,000.
That's incredible.
A month. So those are the people going, wow, okay, I don't want to move because I'm going to have a 6 3/4 rate. But wait a minute, my house is worth 50 grand more
or more. So
yeah, so they can make the move, and yes, their payment's going to go up. But like we said, how long are they going to have that payment? 18 months?
Yeah,
a year?
Probably. So, but I think people are waiting, and I'm going to tell you, it seems to be the general consensus. And I understand why people feel that way. But what you're doing is you're looking at delaying something that will end up costing you more money, because we know that as soon as rates do drop, the market's going to flood with people, right? All these people that would like to buy, that don't want to buy at 6 3/4,
Yep.
but will buy at 5.5, right?
Yeah.
So they're sitting on the sidelines.
Yeah.
So as soon as it hits 5.5, probably even 6% flat, the market is going to flood. And as soon as that happens, then prices go up. Sellers don't make repairs. Sellers definitely don't pay closing
Well, I had
costs.
that happen on a property. We had a buyer right on a property, $900,000 house on a very nice street full of multi-million dollar homes, gone with multiple offers. And the house will probably get bulldozed. But I mean, you've got to be ready for these things. But I think the first thing is get your application into Bruce. Sit there, even if you're not even planning on buying something for 3 or 6 or 9 months, because Bruce, you can help them. Like you can tell them how to get their score up from a 600.
Oh, absolutely. We help people every day. I've got a client right now that's buying with Southern Homes, and they had a credit score in the mid 500s. One of them, the other one was in the low 600s. I put them through my own personal credit counseling. I'll be able to get him up to about a 645 and her up to about a 685. Now that made the difference on them qualifying or not qualifying. And all they had to do is get rid of one collection, and don't do it on your own, folks. If you try to do it on your own, you're going to make your credit worse. Call me first. I showed him how to do it properly, and then pay down a credit card to a certain amount. She was going to pay down a bunch of other credit cards that had no impact on her credit score because you, the consumer, don't know. I don't even know. We run a simulator on each of your debts to determine how much do you need to pay it down. There's no point in paying a $5,000 credit down to $2,000 if paying it down to $1,000 gives you the same credit score.
Yeah.
You might need to take that extra money and put it toward a different credit card.
Exactly. But the thing being, a 620 score is going to be 7 1/4, right? And a 790
you can
score,
even get qualified now on FHA, you'll be fine at 6 1/4.
So, but then the 800 score, the 790 score is the best rate you can give them.
What do you mean?
Like, so they're going to get the best rate available.
Yes.
You got a
when your credit score is over 760 on a mortgage report, not Credit Karma, a consumer report. And you and I were talking about that before we started. Why does a client show on Credit Karma that she's got a 750, and when the lender pulls it up, it's a 690? Why is it that different? It's usually not that much of a disparity, but there are different scoring models for different services. And when you're pulling up your Credit Karma, or you're getting a notification for your credit card that this is what your score is, that's a consumer score. Your score is going to be 30 to 50 points higher on that than it will on a mortgage score. They don't count everything on those consumer scores that a mortgage score does because it's a bigger ticket item. So your score is always going to be higher when you pull it than when a mortgage lender pulls it. That's the fact. Do you have questions for me? My name's Bruce Woodburn. I'm the loan arranger, Cross Country Mortgage, 35 years in the mortgage business, and I lost 56 pounds already. How about that? Does that count for something? Counts for something. I tell you what, I feel great. But listen, if you have questions about that, you've got to give me a call. I'm here to help you. 407-250-9144 or WeBringYouHome.com. Don't wait. Do it now.
Right.
Purchase, refi, home equity, construction loans, renovation loans, reverse mortgages. You name it, I got it.
All right. And I got, you need to get a hold of me for your real estate plan. Call me, 407-352-8118. If you're planning on selling, whether it's 3 months, 6 months, next week, whatever you need, I can help you with that. Help people with that all the time. If you're planning on buying something, I'm going to talk to you a little bit about what you need. We're going to make sure you get with Bruce and get in and get fast-tracked. But call me at 407-352-8118 or go to cleveloveland.com.
Yeah. All right. So what do we got there? Some nice listings.
I do. I got a couple here. I just want to give you two. Like, we talk about the median price in Central Florida floating around 370. Average price is 450. I got two nice houses here. One for 298, 3 bedrooms, 2 baths in Tavares, 1,600 square feet, wood floors and fresh carpet. I've got now this one.
Well, how much was that one again?
That was 298. 298. And then I've got one in Polk City. Now this is a single wide, but on the water. Wow. You got a canal out back, takes you out to a nice lake, new dock. Owner just put in 2 bedrooms, 2 baths for $159,900 on a nice little lot, no HOA dues. And it's in good shape. You got a dock out back, no HOA to breathe down your neck. And that's $160,000 on something like that. The owner would hold a mortgage on that.
Yeah, the owner's going to need to.
Yeah, he will.
Mobile homes, we do loans on. Well,
they got to be like newer. They got to be double wide.
So if it's a double wide and it's built after 76, it's usually going to qualify for any type of mortgage.
I was in some brand new manufactured homes.
They're nice.
They're nice. The trim and the crown molding,
they've really made them.
Besides
you can't even
taking
tell
the
when
two
you're
steps
in it
up the front to the front door, those two steps that allow for the crawl space and everything underneath. When I walked inside that, I looked like I was in an $800,000 home.
I'm telling
the trim and the finishes on those are amazing nowadays.
And the thing is you can get a lot of house for the money too, Cleve. The thing is they just don't appreciate like a regular home does.
You got some wear and tear after a while.
Yeah, so they're going to go down in value after a certain point, and they become harder and harder to finance.
But where I see them sell is I see them now on 2 to 5 acres in Eustis or Mount Dora or Sorrento, and those are in the 4s and the 5s. Because the houses are in the 6s and 7s and 8s now.
Absolutely. So on a double wide, it has to be built after 1976, and it cannot have been moved from another location. It had to come directly from the dealer or from the manufacturer. Yes.
Oh, okay.
Right? Cannot be moved.
Why don't they like that?
Only VA. I can't tell you why. I can just tell you what.
You got to shine a light in the basement at the underwriters and ask them.
I can't tell you why guidelines are what they are, but I can tell you what they are. So then if it has been moved before, VA will work, but no other type of loan.
Wow. Okay.
And then a single wide has to be less than 10 years old. So if you bought it at 9 and you could get financing, when you go to sell it, you're going to have trouble selling.
Right now, what do you think? You guys, it's funny. You guys have so many products out there. What is your coolest product going right now?
Oh gosh, I think our construction perm loan is really good.
That's used. But that's not like totally common.
No, it's less common. I mean, our most common products are our regular 30-year fixed rate conventional and FHA
your neatest loan product. What about
I think
bridge loan?
Our bridge loan is really cool because most people that want a bridge loan don't end up getting a bridge loan because you have to think about this. You have equity in your home that you own now, but you want to buy a new home, right? So we need the equity from this home to buy the new one. So let's just say we're going to pull out $100,000 in equity out of the one you have to put down on the new $500,000 house. Well, normally you got to qualify for the loan you're getting on the new house. You have to qualify for your existing mortgage if you have one, and you have to qualify for the equity that we're pulling out of it. Well, that's 3 mortgages. No wonder nobody ever gets a bridge loan. So we came up with a really great product. Now listen to this. I will give you 75% loan to value out of your existing home.
All right.
You got to get a conventional loan. I won't do FHA and VA on this type, but I'll give you 75% out. I won't count your debt ratio on your current residence or the equity that I give you out. And you got the money to put down.
Qualify. Okay.
And so you can qualify just on the new home that you're getting. Now, that is a big change.
That is.
You have to list your home within 21 days of the closing of the new home.
Yep.
And if it doesn't sell within 120 days, we'll buy it from you.
Okay. So let me back up to real estate planning. So that's an awesome product, going to save you some money. But the thing is, it's like, if you know the house you're getting and you can go buy it, like they use your bridge loan product and they go get that house. They got the dream home. They're going to move out of the old one. They're not going to rent it like we would sometimes suggest to become a landlord. Maybe it's not a great rental. It's too big or something, not a great area, or you don't want to be a landlord. But that house there, I would list that house as soon as you find the other home and get it locked up under contract. I would list the home there.
I would list it before I
list it. And that way, because that's what's hard to tell. And I set this up for people all the time, Bruce. And like, I've got 3 people, listeners of the show right now, they're out looking because I know I can sell their house pretty quick. I want them to see what they want to see.
Sure.
And none of them would come to me like, we might have one of them that needs that bridge loan product.
Right.
And they can, if something pops up, they can jump on it.
But it's a pretty cool product
if you
want. And here's the thing. When I get a call that, if I have enough equity in the house that I have to pay cash for the new one, you won't get a bridge loan.
For your real estate plan, call me at 407-352-8118 and cleveloveland.com.
Yeah, or call the loan arranger right now. I can help you with your new mortgage. 407-250-9144. That's 407-250-9144 or webringyouhome.com. The Loveland Report and the Lone Ranger Radio Show will be back in 5 minutes. We got some good things to talk about, things that are going to save you money, and we're going to talk a little bit more about the market. Don't go anywhere.